In this lesson, we're going to continue to discuss Pages and the Pages panel. If you'd like to follow along, go under the File menu to Open, and in the Sample Files folder, choose 0309 Pages Alternate Layout, and just click Open. What is alternate layout? Well, it's a new feature that makes it a lot easier to reuse content for an entirely different use. Let me give you a quick example. Let's say you have a printed brochure that you want to repurpose as an interactive, engaging iPad app. Well, first, you have to make your layout the size of an iPad, which is 1024 pixels by 768 pixels. And you have to do it both vertically and horizontally, so that when you turn your iPad, it will take on that direction. But maybe you also need your brochure for the iPhone and for an Android device in both vertical and horizontal. Well, that's a lot of layouts. That's where alternate layout comes in. It automatically gives you a head start in the process of redesigning your layouts for other uses in other sizes. Does this mean that InDesign is now designing layouts? Absolutely not. It's getting your design about 80% of the way there, in exactly the way that you tell it to. The rest is up to your talent as a designer. But what if you're not doing iPad apps? Is this new feature really a big deal? Well, you can also use it for traditional uses. Like for instance, let's say you have a newspaper ad that you've designed for one newspaper, and you need it for 4 other newspapers in totally different sizes. Alternate layout is a good way to begin to redesign the ad in those 4 other sizes. Why don't we just open the Pages panel and give it a shot? You can see in my Pages panel, the name of my layout that exists is iPad V for vertical. And you can see it's page 1. But before we get into creating an alternate layout, I just want to mention that there are a lot of things that are going to be going on behind the scenes, like liquid layout, linked content, and fitting options for these photos that will make them resize in exactly the way I want. Photos, by the way, are, once again, from photospin.com. Why don't I just give it a shot? I'm going to go under this little pop-up menu to create alternate layout. And you can see it opens a dialog box, and I have to answer some questions about what I want InDesign to do. Like for instance, it's automatically picking up a name of my vertical layout, and instead of a V at the end, it's adding an H. The page size is iPad, but instead of being vertical at 1024 by 768, it's making it horizontal. In the options area, now I know we haven't talked about liquid layout and liquid page rules. I've already set that up for this document. We will be discussing this in an upcoming lesson. I'm just going to preserve what I already set up. Then there's something called link stories. Basically what that's going to do is I have some text at the top of my page here. In the horizontal layout that it's going to create, that text is going to be linked back to this text. So if at some point after I create the layout, I change this text on my vertical layout, I'm going to have to go into the links panel and update the link so it changes the text in the same way on the horizontal layout. It's also going to copy any of my text styles to a new style group. And I'm applying smart text reflow. What that means is if the text from this document in the vertical direction does not fit when I create the horizontal layout, it's going to add an extra horizontal page that the text will flow into. I don't think we're going to have an issue with this short headline. Why don't I just click OK and let's see what happens. And you can see already it created the horizontal layout. Let me double click on it so we can see what it looks like. And you can see it's not a bad start, but I am going to have to make some alterations. Like, for instance, let me click on this picture and just drag it down to recrop it slightly, because I really don't want to cut that lady's face in half. Also, I don't think I want a picture that has a head cut off, So let me click on that and drag that down as well. And actually the rest of it is not bad. So it did a pretty good job. I wonder if we can look at both layouts side by side. Let me go back under that Options menu and go to Split Window to compare layouts. And let me get my Pages panel out of the way. And you can see that it actually did a very nice job. We're going to continue discussing Pages, the Pages panel, as well as other features that are connected to alternate layout in the upcoming lessons.